Okay, so I know I was supposed to be giving y'all more stories from my childhood to unpack my trauma, and I've got a few minutes, so I'll just tell you really quickly. The last time when I left off, my was when my dad had burnt down our house when I was about 4 or 5. So I was just trying to give some preface as to where some of my trauma stemmed from and how it came about, how it started building up. So I remember this is after the fire. We had moved to a new house. I remember one day my mom decided to stay home from Wednesday night church because she had to catch up on laundry. It was the middle of the week. She had 2 kids. She was behind on laundry. Okay, cool. Well, my dad decided he was going to go to church and he wanted me and my brother to go with him. Excuse me. So we didn't want to go. We decided we wanted to stay there with my mom. He got mad. He started a confrontation. He started an argument. He got up in my mom's face. He got abusive. He got aggressive. So my brother, he at this time, he's in 5th or 6th grade, and he's a big kid. Like, for reference, my brother is now grown. He's about 6'4", big guy. So at this time, he's big enough to feel like he can defend us from my dad. So he gets up in front of my dad. They start to tussling. Okay, I don't know what happened exactly, but all I know is next thing I realized the coffee table, wooden coffee table, hits the ground, collapses. So by this point, I already know stuff's going to get bad. We don't have a house phone because we were poor, but we did live 3 houses down the street from my grandmother. So I take off running. I didn't ask no questions. Like, this was the type of life that we live. You don't ask to call the police. You don't stop and ask to go anywhere. When my daddy gets on one of his rampages, you just go. So I shoot out the door. Pew! Running down the street. Going to my granny house to call the police. Hopefully before my daddy kills one of my brother or my mom. So I will never forget. My daddy had this little blue car. And next thing I know, I'm running down the street and I hear his little blue car. And here it comes. And it gets behind me. Now, I'm on the side of the street. I'm not in the middle of the street. His car gets behind me and speeds up. So now in my head, I'm thinking, he's trying to kill me again. So I run up in the grass, okay? And he just speeds on past. But when I get to my granny's house, I'm bang, 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 knocking on the door. Nanny, let me in. My daddy's trying to kill me. So, like I said, anybody that know my daddy, they know what type of time he get on. And so she didn't ask, wait a minute, what's going on? Are you sure? Are you exaggerating? Are you playing? None of that. It was, get in here. Where's your mama? Where's your brother? And she lets me use the phone. Now, first of all, I think it's crazy that at 7 or 8 years old, I know how to run out of the house and call the police when my daddy starts tripping. I don't feel the need to ask my mother for permission. She doesn't feel the need to stop me because she know, like, this is a routine thing. I get to my granny house. She doesn't second guess, question, or doubt anything that I'm saying. She automatically goes into panic mode because she know what type of time my daddy's on. If everybody in my life knew how toxic and abusive and crazy he was, why was he still in my life? Why was he still in my life? I'm not saying completely jerk us away, don't ever let him see us or have contact with us, anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, why was we not protected? Why was there no restraining orders? Why was there no mandated state mandated therapy? Or why was there no supervised visitation? Or why was there none of this? Like, I love my mama to death. Still to this day will kill or fight for this woman, will take a bullet for this woman. I respect her. She is one of the most wisest, sweetest, kindest, purest heart persons that I've ever met. She was not as strong back then as she is now. I know she regrets some decisions she made, but we can't change the past. But back then, she should have got us the hell up out of there. She should have got us away from him. I know she thought it was better for us to have a father than to not have a father, but that was not the type of father that we needed. We've been better off just with her, with nobody, than to be in that situation. So the bottom line is, if you think you're doing your kids a favor by keeping them in a toxic situation because it's their parent or it's their family, keeping them around negativity or danger because it's their family, no, absolutely not. Those kids are going to grow up packed full of trauma, all kinds of crap that they can't unload or process. They don't even know something is wrong with them until other stuff start popping up, until they start dating men 20 years older than them, until they start sneaking out from school to do drugs or anything, like until they're a teen parent. Yeah, I was a teen parent. Like, all of my trauma, it started from these days, these formative years where somebody was supposed to be there to protect me, to look out for me, and nobody was there. And I had to grow up scared, and then my scared turned to fear. My fear turned to anger. Okay? And then I was just mad at the world, and I didn't care about nothing. Period. Nothing. It led to depression. It led to promiscuity. It led to rebellion. It led to a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even have to end up dealing with. Like, it was a way to prevent that, but nobody stepped in and did what needed to be done. I mean, it's a lot. It really is. Like, at the end of the day, I love both my parents. Like I said, my daddy is deceased. He died 10 years ago. This year makes 10 years. We were able to make some types of amends and have some type of decent years before he passed. But all of that bullshit in the beginning, like, it messed my life up. It messed my head up. It messed my thought process up. It made relationships hard. Like, everything. It was bad. It was all bad, and I can't sugarcoat it. I'll be uploading more, so stay tuned if you want to know more about my trauma, how I'm unpacking it, and my journey.